Hi everybody, this is Dennis from the Dennis and Andy Show. I'm going to give a full review of Maniac of New York, issue number 5 from AFTERSHOCK Comics. This is the conclusion. It was a 5-issue miniseries of the story of the Maniac of New York by Elliott Kalan and Andrea Mutti. We're going to flip it open. Remember, there was a lot going on that they had left open. She wound up being able to force the Maniac off the train by putting that incredibly cool flammable liquid and blowing flame at it, caught it on fire. Remember, he had this look of surprise that was in his eyes, and there was recognition when it was looking at, looked like one of the children, and there was actual fear in the eye. And then towards the end of the book, remember, there was a cutaway of issue 4, and they're at the museum, and there was one of the masks, and it looked like there was going to be this interesting historical tie-in. So, issue number 5, we're expecting to answer some of these incredibly important questions. So it starts off, and this is the moment that Lena Petrelli hates most, the last moments they thought they were safe, and it's kind of a flashback, to the kids. Lena, hide, Mom, kill Lena. Lena, die, run, Jonah, I can't. I'm sinking, it's swallowing me up, Jonah. But the worst part, when she realizes it's just all a nightmare. Because we all know that he didn't actually, speak, to it. So anyway, we kind of forward. There's a news program going on. They're talking about the illustration of the failure of the big government nanny state, millions spent, 100 dead, and for what? To give the Maniac his own private train. And then you see him bringing her on. Joining us is the architect of the recent liberal failure, Maniac Task Force Director Gina Greene. So there's Gina. He goes, thank you for, may I have a chance to explain? Then you see the older woman. Don't let her do it, Sean. Grandma, Lena, don't scare me like that. I'm sorry, Grandma. I had a nightmare. You gave me one, too. All right, why don't you come up and sit here? Grandma, why couldn't Jonah come with us, too? Not enough room here for 2 kids. Well, we shared a room in New York. New York is not your home anymore, thank God. I never should have let your mother go there in the first place. Then it cuts over back to the TV, and she was talking about how she had this incredible decision. She could either risk a few hundred lives in order for a chance to save millions. But that's all we are to you, just numbers. Unbelievable. Grandma's like, she was on the train, or the child that she was on the train. She was one of the ones who saved me. No, she wasn't, Lena. She's a horrible person. Horrible. Cut back to the TV screen. He's actually just going after her. He's like, do you have anything to say you're sorry? And she goes, well, thanks for giving me the chance to tell my side of the story. She goes, it was only a small deal with a small devil. The big devil is what she was hunting. She can stand their disapproval. She can stand their hate. She's walking out of the interview. Patu, you killed my mother. Gabrielle Acosta was on the train, and she turns around. She goes, your mother died a hero. What's that supposed to mean? Gina Greene can stand all that, but knowing for sure, she doesn't know if she actually had destroyed the monster. She goes, someday she'll know the Maniac is gone, but until she sees if he's really dead, that's all she's going to care about is justice. We do a flip, and then they're like, you can see, for she's a jolly good fellow, and then there's Zelda. The officers are singing to her, but remember, they despise her because she had turned on them. Seeing them all to pretend to be proud of the hero cop who put her life on the line to save the 2 little white kids from Maniac Harry makes me sick throwing a party for her. End times, dude. Thanks. She's walking out. She knows that they still hate her, and she's good with that. And she goes, hey, you want to throw back one? She goes, nope. Wow, it must be end times. She never turns down a drink, basically. The politicians are standing up, the mayor. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to let this tragedy define us. The typical political bullcrap that we hear. We're giving New York an automated train and nobody can stop us. Come on, everybody, let's hear it. Train, train, train. You see Gina Greene, Director, Mayor's Office, Task Force, for now. The two of them get together. She goes, she's just not going to be satisfied until she figures it out. Who is this? After she answers the phone. Oh, it's Gardner Birnbaum, best-selling author of Bloody New Year. You came by to ask me about the Maniac, so why did you take the fall? She goes, I took the blame because it was mine to blame. Well, that's the official story. But you're an idealist, an activist problem solver. The death train decision was cynical, selfish, more than the kind of thing your boss would do. You don't know me, Mr. Birnbaum. Don't call me again. Liking this side of you. And don't call it the death train. It's an insult to the victim. And, of course, he's already ruled out everything but death train. There's the moment that Lena obsesses over. Don't look. The moment when they were halfway saved. Then you hear the station is at 81st Street Museum of National History. Remember, that's where the mask was at the end of 4. So hopefully, this is where we're getting to. They're going to hopefully give us a tie-in. When the monster's body froze, his eyes were afraid. We remember that from the last issue, but why? Then we get cut back to Grandma. Again, why she took one of the kids, I don't know yet. The idea that when there's a crisis that the only thing that we can trust in is government. You think these so-called government experts would do your job? What makes them smarter than us? Grandma hears the phone. My name is Lena Petrelli, and I need to tell something to Zelda. So she's calling, and Grandma hangs up the phone. Shame on you for talking to a 6-year-old girl at this time of night. But Grandma, I need to help. I remember something about the monster. Monster's gone now. You better forget the whole thing. Sneaking out. Yeah, like she's going to be able to forget the whole thing. Almost dying. Mother gets killed. Brother's not with her anymore. I don't like this man. He's the only one who gets it, Lenny. And he's talking about the government, 3 years to kill this guy. You got to ask yourself if maybe he's working for them. Why not let American citizens arm themselves like the Constitution tells us so we can hunt down and obviously give him a weekend tops. Come on, people. That's what it's free. So it's a bunch of political mumbo jumbo. He finishes up, oh, great show, pat, pat, pat. Goodbye, everybody. Hey, Mr. Fancy Suit, can you help me out? And he's like, stay back or I'm calling the cops. And he goes, hey, don't be an asshole. I was just asking for a little help. He goes, if I was you and you was me, I'd help you. You're never going to be me. I'm never going to be you. Now, I warned you to get out of my face. Needless to say, then, of course, he's walking away, and, and you hear her. Second thought, forget it, man. Oh, shit. Oh, there he goes. So we know that the Maniac is still alive. We see the cut scene. Her. And he's just walking right out to the street of people. We see the body, a note, and blood. And that's it. So then we get a Seven Swords preview. But let's talk about this. So a number of things that perplexed me. I kind of liked where the story was going, and I was hoping they were going to give us some insight into it. Number one, they've obviously had the police force trying to stop them. They haven't been able to. Bullets have been ineffective. As I mentioned in my last video, you know that they have the ability to get flamethrowers. They would have brought in the National Guard. And somehow her breathing some flame out of her mouth, putting him on fire, suddenly caused him to turn tail and run. And he did have this recognition of fear, but we don't know why. Nothing was explained there. And, they didn't really say why the grandma only took one of the children. And the whole point of the mask, and it was talking from a historical standpoint, it was a very similar mask. What is that all about? That wasn't answered. So, you know, a lot of what we were built up to, which, you know, when you're in this kind of a story, you expect there to be a long build up, some really cool stuff that happens along the way, and you want a payoff at the end. Well, we saw that their careers are still in the toilet. It's all blah, blah, blah. I took the fall for it. I don't know if he's dead, but I still want to kill him. And okay, but we don't really get a wrap up. We don't find out anything really about the Maniac. I've talked to a couple of other people that have read it, and they're kind of perplexed also by the ending of this. It doesn't answer any of the questions. Now, what a good story would do is it would tie up some of these important issues, and then it would ask a couple more questions so that they could roll out a whole new story to again advance it. This one just seems to, you can either look at it comes to a dead still, or it winds up just falling off the cliff. It doesn't answer anything. We do know they're coming out with another one, because at the end here, there's coming out with Maniac of New York, The Bronx is Burning. But nothing was answered. I mean, are they just leading us in here? Well, I guess we have to buy the next one to get any kind of questions. I'm going to be honest, for me, this ending doesn't lend me to want to run out and buy another one. I thought the first issues, while somewhat repetitive, but it kept building off, and we got some interesting pieces in 3 and 4 that were, there's some interesting historical lore with this. You know, is he kind of like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers? You know, what happened that he came into being? Is this going to be tied in with this science? At the historical museum, there was the mask and stuff that's almost identical to what he's wearing. So there was some significance, but we don't know what any of it is. It just ended. This ending really left me wanting, because it doesn't answer any of the important questions. What happened to the brother Jonah? Where did the Maniac come from? How come that nobody can stop him? And why did they think that 2 police officers with pistols are going to be able to take him down, when obviously coordinated effort with, you're assuming, the National Guard, military, state troopers, local police, they have been unable to do it, so they let him go around. There's just so many things that don't make sense and left up in there. I was left very, very disappointed on this ending. I had given this series really decent marks leading up to this, because I thought it was really going to lead somewhere. I liked where it was going. It wasn't always completely clear, but you know, it doesn't have to be as long as you give us the pieces. But that didn't happen. I'm going to give the finale of Maniac of New York a CGC rating of a 4. I was very disappointed in this. It was subpar. And I don't know if maybe I missed something. I would love it if you guys leave me comments below, or contact me through, you know, if you check down the video below, you'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can contact me however you want. Let me know what you thought. Overall, I probably am going to drop the entire series CGC grade down to about a 6, maybe a 5.5. It was really up there, and if this had a really strong finish, I was going to be super excited for the next one. But as of right now, I'm not. I was left really wanting. Maybe I missed something in this. I don't think I did, but I would love to hear from you all. So hit the like and subscribe button. Leave me some comments below. Let's talk about it, especially those of you that have finished reading this. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Catch you later.